Hey everyone, and welcome to a weird-ish episode here of Hearts of Iron 4. As you can see, the game video behind me is moving at an incredibly fast speed. That is because I basically recorded for 90-ish minutes without my microphone activated. For some ungodly reason, it kind of didn't do anything. So I'm now recording over top of this, kind of in... I have the game opened up in my actual window here, while stuff is going on in the background. So that way I can kind of see what's going on, I can check things and not have to worry too much about the overlap of sound, and it's sounding incredibly fast, it's sped up really fast. So yeah, needless to say, you're going to get 90 minutes of video compressed down to about 21 minutes. So yay. So basically what happened is we pushed forward, we activated all our troops, and we're making moves. We kind of cordoned off this little section of Texas, so they're stuck on a singular port. I believe that is... man, I don't know my cities in Texas. But the naval base down there. Just, you know, south of pretty much everything. I probably should know what town that is, but I don't. So yeah, we kind of sectioned them all off so that they can't, you know, receive mini supplies. They're kind of trapped there. We're just continually doing little bits of pushing left and right to try and retake... to take parts of the United States, but it's kind of stalemating out. I'm pushing a little bit, losing troops, pushing a little bit, losing troops. Nothing's really going anywhere. Still trying to focus on breaking down this small section here, and if we ever scroll back to it, I also am working on taking care of Africa as well, but I think the main focus obviously is going to be the United States, and trying to get a foothold and make things work. So continually just doing little attacks here and there to try and break them, or at least eliminate some troops, or try and pocket them, because they're a small portion down in the south can easily be pocketed out from the main portion if we just so happen to hit them in the right spot. So checking a few things, making little bits of movements. So herein lies the problem that we're looking at, and I'll talk to that now as opposed to what we're seeing here, because there's not a lot going on. I just kind of switch it to hit convoys so that maybe I can stop them from resupplying that area so heavily and I have a better chance. But yeah, pretty much take up to the US line there. They lose Mexico pretty much all the way to the current border it is on the left, but everything up the top is now gone. That being said, again, a lot of it is just continually attacking little bits and pieces here and there, trying to whittle away that small section, just so I can capture out like 5 to 10 troops. Alright, so... they expand, contract, etc., and I use that to actually get in behind them. Alright, so with that said, we're looking at the problem here. We're staring down roughly, that's 40, 50, 60, roughly 100 US troops on my current border against my, 70-ish troops that I have there. So we are heavily outnumbered on this border at our current state of the game. And it's going to be really interesting because I'm down to 10,000 manpower, and I can increase that. We're only at service by requirement, so I can swap that to all adults serve, which jumps me up and I'll have forever troops, but we're lacking the weaponry. So therein lies the tough part. As you see here, we finally did cut off all those American troops, by the way. So now they're separated out. They have the one port not feeding anything down below. So we'll just slowly be able to take them and reduce their supplies down there and knock them out that way, which is the best way to do it. Just kind of cut them off from their supply lines, and then they're kind of stuck. So again, I can swap to get more troops. That's fine. My manpower is not the end of the world. The U.S. is currently at all adults served, so we're tied. So if I were to swap, they're going to be in front of me in terms of their drafting requirements, but that isn't a big deal. The big deal is going to be my production without iron. So Africa over there, I'm going to actually zoom all the way over to there real quick on this board. So I do manage to take back a lot. I do some pretty hefty gains over in Africa. I take back parts of Iraq, parts of the Neo-Ottoman Empire, but the big problem with that is Russia starts to push up against me, because it looks like the British sent almost all their troops to fill in the gaps here, because of course, Legionary Romania decided they wanted to collapse, and all sorts of bad stuff happened. A lot of German troops got captured, and ooh, yeah, we're still ahead of that. Yeah, so you're about to see some nasty stuff here where legionary Romania decides just to go ahead and collapse on itself and giving up all its troops and pretty much all its territory. So that really screws over Germany because they lose a literal ton of troops. In the current game, they are down to... I have the wrong screen up here. What are they at? They're down to a whole 800 troops. So they lost massive amounts of troops as I'm still whittling away there at the at that part of Mexico. It'll take some time. It'll take a lot of troops to break that one little section in Mexico. Trying to break into Texas as well and take it over. Commenting about how they're out of supply and I need to really focus on whittling down their strength, because when their strength goes to nil, that can overrun them. So yeah, even Japan is getting hit hard. Good grief, Japan, you're doing nothing. I'm kind of looking at that on my screen. So yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff that's going on here that I just don't know what our options are anymore. So yeah, I zoom across, you see I start to take a little bit of the Middle East, go back, take a look at my deficit there. I have infantry weapons, not much I can do there. Again, slowly working my way through. So if I take a look at what I have currently, I'm going to talk to what I currently am doing as opposed to what we're looking at there. So I'm looking at 100 troops across the border for the US. I have 70, they severely outnumber me. And I know I ended up backtracking about 6 days before they do a sweeping engagement. I'm looking at they could easily break through my lines in the white area and push down. That being said, the one thing I have going for me is I do have enough tanks. I have enough tanks I can create one tank division across all of my troops. Not going to be a bad thing. I don't know if that's going to really help me at all, but that is an option that I have, is to put in a lot of my troops. And we'll see where that kind of gets me. Maybe I can make it be useful, maybe I can't. I'm not really sure. A lot of troops, though, is going to be just ill-equipped. I just don't have the equipment for them. So that being said, oh man, I'm getting injury alerts now on, oh, sorry, fantasy football. So yeah, let's see here. So I can equip everybody with one series of tanks. That might not be a bad idea. I'm totally open to suggestions here. So I can equip everybody with one set of tanks, modern tanks, mind you. They're upgraded pretty strongly. I just don't know if it's going to make a big difference or not. Alternatively, my other option, as you can see here, I'm starting to trek across the Middle East. I actually pull off of that line and have to retake parts that France took back in, like Morocco area. So I send all my troops back there to take care of France. I have a bunch of options I can go... Oh, let's refocus here. So Legionary Romania fell, screwing over Germany. I have the option of equipping all my troops with tanks. That is number one. Number two is I can completely give up on Mexico. I can fall back everybody like immediately, like almost all the way back to either Salvador or Guatemala or San Jose. Panama, like put them at the Panama Canal and build up a 10-stack fort in that one area and just forever hold that area with like a singular stack of troops. That is an option. I'd be giving up quite a lot in Mexico and Central America to do that. I'd be giving up, let me look at the resources. I mean, it's just chromium though, and a little bit of iron. So resource-wise, I wouldn't be giving up much. I'd just be giving up a lot of, what you want to call it. Oh yeah, I readjust like all my fighters. So I could easily delete all my fighters, bring them back, resecure the areas, and really buff out if I really wanted to. That is an option. So I could pull back pretty much to the Panama Canal, stack it with forts, and just forever hold right there, freeing up 2 divisions roughly with which to go and do more things at in different areas of the world. I could keep holding this line and hoping that my throwing troops against the American lines will eventually do something and not get overrun. Like I said, there's a lot of options I have. I think retreating my troops and equipping them with tanks might be the better option. I don't know, I'm totally up to suggestions here. So here I'm going through different upgrades. Again, I'm slowly pushing into the Middle East because I'm trying to get troops up there to relieve those roughly 20-ish, no, closer to 30 or 40 German troops that are sitting there without supplies in the German border, or in the Crimea. No, that's not even Crimea. They're the next area over. So basically in the Afghanistan area. Afghanistan, yeah, that's sort of Uzbekistan. I think that's that area. Basically the area to the right of the Black Sea instead of the left. So, thinking on what I can possibly do to get up there, there's not really much. That's the answer right now, is there's not much I can do there. So yes, I could... My options are retreat everything back to basically Panama, build up a giant-ass fort there so they can never really cross the Panama Canal. Pretty much hold that till the end of time. Use my other 2 stacks of troops to go and either A, invade Spain and France, B, invade the UK, C, invade into the United States somewhere. Those are my options. I don't know what to do, and I'm open to suggestions here. There's a lot of stuff I can do, and I'm not really sure what my options are in front of me with you guys seeing what I have here. So yeah, I basically pull those troops off and slam them up against the area that you just saw with the France blob in Africa. There's really nothing there, so I'm sweeping that area no problem. I can either land into France and go from there, or I'm not really, like I said, I don't know what to do with my troops. There's a lot of options I just don't have ideas for. So I'm totally up to options here that people want to give me. I'll be more than happy to listen to them. But it's kind of one of those things where I'm kind of open to you people telling me what I should do. I'm not going to cheat. Cheating as in I can give myself the, what you want to call them, the backfill of, what is it called, saves. I can save scum at, like, a singular save. That's like the one thing I'll allow myself to do. However, I won't use console commands because I won't like insta-win that way. That's not exactly fair. Not really sure what else I can do here. But yeah, it's looking like that's about all that I have option-wise in terms of where I can reposition my troops. Is, like I said, backtracking everything to Panama, just allowing them to retake Central America, and hitting them in other regions, like going all the way up to like New York and plowing my way down that way. Or just rebuilding, letting my forces recuperate. I can hit France, I can hit the UK and try and knock them out. That might not be a bad thing, hit the UK and try and knock them out. Because I guarantee you they're going to have nothing guarding the mainland UK itself. I feel like that's one of the things, at least in previous Let's Plays, I feel like they basically never had a, what you want to call it, never had anything there. They just never had any troops guarding the mainland. So if I hit them, I could probably eliminate them pretty easily. They wouldn't have any victory points elsewhere. I could re-hit France and try and eliminate that border, but I feel like they have so many troops there on the border with Germany, looking like at least 100 there, plus all the encirclement that they have going on, which is a whole nother issue. I can't even begin to guess what's going on there with that encirclement. Yeah, I mean, those are my big things I could do. So again, I'm open to suggestions. Oh yeah, I tried to do I tried to land over in, what is this? Like Mexicali, and try and take that whole peninsula, but I can't seem to push through that one single troop very well without it being problematic. I try and land at the port up above it, but they of course have it guarded. And it knocks me back, so doing that port attack doesn't exactly work out too well. Kinda does, but I get pushed back, I need to run, stuff like that. None of it really works out how I want it to. So, I think I saved scum it there as well. Just back a singular month because of that. Oh yeah, because I hold everybody's troops, and was that it? Something happened where they immediately pushed through my lines, and it did not work, like, at all. The moment I stopped pushing attacking them, is when they instantly like come back at me and push through. Yeah, like here you can see they're immediately pushing through white. White has like no troops and they're just getting routed immensely, and I gotta save scum it because they refuse to adhere to their lines. Hence why I keep thinking moving everything all the way back down to Panama might not be such a bad idea. It's an option, just don't know if I want to do it. So that is, yeah, I keep trying to check these fallback lines. I can't seem to get the fallback lines to work because they keep engaging them and then they immediately like overrun them when they're trying to get back to the fallback lines. So it's kind of weird how I try to do that, but they just immediately get overrun. I don't know if it's because of their strength or whatever. Well, their experience is not the problem. It's, what's this? We got experience, we got preparation, that's fine. I feel like it is their organization that keeps getting knocked down completely. And why is that? Mostly because of the lack of equipment. So they lack equipment with which to be organized, I suppose. So that's part of the problem. So yeah, we look back over there. That's about the extent of which I currently hold, is that before I pull back. The Russians seem to put up a pretty big wall of troops that I can't seem to break through. Ooh, I did get a good movement up there into Texas. Oh, I still hold that. I built up a couple forts here. I do have a row of forts. I could keep layering on more and more forts and holding it with my thin troops, but I'm thinking my best bet might be to pull back. Again, I'm open to suggestions. If you think layering out a ton of forts, because I currently have... Let me pull up the construction window here. I currently have 2 across that border with Mexico. Currently 1 across the... with Texas, sorry. I currently have 2 across that border with Texas. At least 1 across the area where, yeah, like the panhandle of Texas. And then it's currently building in Sonora and New Mexico border. I'll have 2 going up there shortly. So I can layer on more forts there if you guys think that that'll be a good option. But I'm not sure. Thinking it might not be. Maybe, like I said, I keep thinking pulling back to a more defensible position where it's only like one way to press through might be the better option. Like I keep saying, the Panama Canal might be the better option. Not 100% sure. But yeah, I mean, that will free up more troops I can do stuff with, as opposed to where I'm currently at, which is I have 1 platoon of free troops, which of course I can also pull them back and do stuff with them as well. You can see there where I'm fiddling around with those troops. I pretty much make it almost all the way to the coast, but I kind of give up and decide pulling back's the better option here. So you see, that's how I kind of get loose troops. So I try to do some encirclements of, what town is that? Tabriz. I get encircled. I try and do an encirclement, it doesn't work out. So, I have a bunch of things I could have done. They didn't pan out at all. I've tried, what can I say? All I can do is try. So yeah, keep in mind, I have tanks, I can pull back, I can attack different areas, I can fortify the borders which I'm currently at, but I mean, it's looking right now, if I mouse over my forces, they are enemy forces stronger, and enemy forces stronger for all 3, blue, pink, and white. So, there's not many options I have there to break through. I keep trying to make little pushes into the Sonora area, but it keeps like pushing me back and not able to do it. Or I like attack and I send 1 guy down to reinforce it. Doesn't work. I try and cut off that stack of roughly 14 troops there, and that doesn't work either. So, yeah, as you can see there, that guy got cut off. Nothing I can do to save him. He kind of gets eliminated. Sucks, but at least it's only down to 22. It's not a huge loss. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a lot of options. I'm going to have to jump up to service by requirement. It sucks, but I need to resupply. I need more men with which to do anything. I really need more damn iron, but that kind of fell through. So yeah, I'm open to suggestions. There's still roughly a minute, or no, it's roughly like 2 or 3 minutes of me talking left. So yeah, put your ideas in the comments. I have not recorded the other episodes for this week yet because, well, I'm stuffing all 3 into this episode. So getting to see 3 episodes for the price of 1 here. So yeah, let me know what you guys think I should do. I kind of am at a loss myself. If it was up to me, and if no one says anything, what I'm going to do is probably pull everybody back to Panama, secure there, use the other 2 stacks of troops to go fight probably in the UK. Try and get a chain to land in the UK. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 sectors. So I can do it with the ships I have. It's just I don't know the fleet strengths over there. I currently haven't had a problem with the stuff I have off the coast of Portugal and Spain. But that being said, that's Portugal and Spain. So who knows? I could attack into Spain and take that. I have a lot of options. What I would do if I had my choice is I would bring all my troops back, hit UK, try and knock them out, because the UK, while they're 100% towards victory, or not towards victory, 100% solid, they're 90%. They really don't have much. Almost all their victory points are pretty much in the UK itself. I don't think they have pretty much anything else anywhere. So hitting that, I can pretty much knock them out immediately, or at least take out their entire production. Taking out their entire production means that they have nothing left. So that's an option. So I can do that. That's probably what I would do. If it was up to me, I would do that. I would try and hit the UK, and if all that failed, I don't know, sit there and try and rebuild by holding Panama and then just securing my coastline and hoping that no one attacks me, and then just leaving Germany to its devices. I mean, man, they'll be giving up a lot of resources to other groups that they did, the Soviet Union being one of them, and I think they're not allied. So they could end up going to war with the US eventually. Not necessarily yet, but they could. So yeah, I'd probably do that. And then if that attack fails, I really don't know. So yeah, this is me planning out the forts to get them building. And that's pretty much where it stops, is me planning out these forts and getting them all ready. So I'm pretty much at that standstill where I don't think I'm going to move anymore. They, of course, are attacking me slightly here, but I think I hold without an issue. So yeah, I think we're at that sort of a standstill where there's not much I can do to change things up. Where the hell are all these troops? Oh, they're all repositioning. Okay. So yeah, I retake that area, and that's kind of where it stands. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know where to go. And in the meantime, thank you everybody for coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed the fact I had to stuff 3 episodes into 1. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Anyway, thank you everybody, and I will catch you in the next episode where you tell me what to do and I'll make it happen. Thanks. Later.